Hey, welcome back to the Sober Son of God channel. I don't know if you watch the news here in the United States, but I was recently in a competition. I got first place. Best dad ever. I'm just kidding. My wife and kid bought me this for Father's Day. Super cool, though. Let's talk about, I really want to stress in this episode, walls. Particularly like beige walls and how blank they are. It's boring, I know. But like I said before, the message is what matters. I hope everybody's having a good day. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm somebody that used to only have bad days, I feel like, and now it's the opposite. Like, everything's beautiful. And I'm not like, oh, everything's good, and then I hit stop and go, well, today sucked. You know, no, it's great. I want to talk about a touchy one here. Something that plagued me for years, anxiety and depression. Don't hang up. Hang up like we're on the phone. Don't click off the video. This might turn out a little different than you think. Anxiety and depression are hell. And if you've never had them and you think somebody who has them is weak, you are ignorant. It is your brain literally not firing correctly. Anxiety, you have this almond-shaped thing in your brain called the amygdala. It's responsible for your fight or flight response. When you're having an anxiety disorder, it will fire off and tell you, hey, there's a bear in the woods in front of you. You either have to fight it or run now. And you go, wait, what are you talking about? And it goes, no, pick now. And there's no bear. Depression makes it feel like breathing is too much energy. You don't want to die, but you're like breathing feels heavy. It's a lead blanket. It's trying to run underwater. It's like your soul needs to take a nap. Those things suck. And I used to suffer from them bad, and now I don't at all, actually. My hardest battle was with something called depersonalization. In a nutshell, that's like extreme brain fog where you just feel out of it the entire day. You feel like you can't focus, you feel out of your own body. That was tricky to get over. And with anxiety, the whole trick is retraining your nervous system. With God's help, that's the only way. Thank goodness, because if we didn't have Him, why would we even be here? You retrain your nervous system to let it know, hey, there's no threat right now. Just because a sniper could put his laser on your head and take you out right now does not mean he is or is going to, or that there even is a sniper. And that takes work and practice and practice and practice, because recovery is active, not passive. And it's possible, and it feels impossible when you're trying to get into not having anxiety, not having depression, when you feel like you can't take it any farther. That's when God steps in. Because we cannot do it with our own strength. Like I've said before, you can't fist fight trauma, but God can take the trauma away through healing. And it's uncomfortable. It's like when you get a cut on your arm and it heals, think of it like that times a million, but your mind. And it's frightening. But I'll tell you this, for as frightening as it is, it's 100 billion times worth it. And I'm in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. It says, don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. God already won. Jesus already won. This is the mop-up mission, as Rob Schneider says. It's a cool quote. When we enter God in the fight, that's when we win. When we take God out of the equation, that's when Satan wins. And that is nothing good for us. And that's a common sense. Like, oh, obviously God's good, the devil's bad. He just wants us to suffer. The devil. He just wants us to suffer. He just wants us to go downhill as fast as possible. Everything that we love taken away. And God loves us so much that when we do sin, like for me personally, alcohol, when I use that to self-medicate to cover up the anxiety and depression, all it did was numb it and save it for later. And boom, now it's amplified. But God loved me so much that His love for me outweighed His hatred for the sin. And that's one of the most deep things I've ever read. If you really think about that, as much as God hates sin, and He hates these things we try to do to self-medicate instead of inviting Him into our heart and letting Him fix it, As much as he hates that, his love for us outweighs it. Oh man, that's beautiful. I think if the world looked at mental health issues a lot differently, because some people just don't have them, you know what I mean? Some people grew up, they didn't have childhood trauma, they knew where their next meal was coming from, their dad didn't beat their mom, stuff like that, you know what I mean? And they look at people who did deal with stuff like that like, oh, well, you're just weak, you know? I'm obviously stronger. Man, I think if you have that opinion, you should just stay quiet. Because you are inactively or actively hurting a lot of people. And I'm not playing into the victim card of this world. I understand there's a lot of people out there that aren't suffering and they act like they're suffering. But I'm telling you right now, anxiety and depression is hard to get through. Hard is not impossible. I haven't suffered from it in a very long time. God took that struggle away, and I promised God, if you can get me through this, I will help as many people as I possibly can by telling them what you've done for me and letting them know that there's hope. That's what this channel is. So if you're having a rough day today, just know, it says in the Bible, I believe fear not is the phrase, I could be wrong on that, but like 365 times. And I really think it's in there on purpose because there's 365 days to let us know, like, every day, remind yourself, God's got this. Don't worry. He'll never leave you. He's beside you. As long as you accept him in here, do the best you can. We're not perfect. We're all sinners. But the true healing starts whenever we go, I can't, you can. Man, I hope you have a good day.